Hi everyone. So on tonight's flight, I got last couple hours just trying to figure out some things, but it's pretty exciting. I got the first time ever using the IVAO, where I'm actually going to be able to make radio calls using it. So on tonight's flight, we're going from Edmonton City Center at CYXD to Calgary, which is CYYC. I have the frequencies all on a piece of paper here with the routes that we're going to be doing. I filed the flight plan to flight level 190, and we'll be heading on roughly a 162 degree radial. So it's flying Cirrus, the jets. The plane is actually not this aircraft. I was looking online to see if I could find a checklist to use, but there's no manufacturer checklist as of yet because the plane doesn't have one yet. I don't know where they are with actually marketing the plane for commercial use or whatever, for private use or whatever. So I'm not sure. There's no checklist basically. So we won't. Didn't add that yet to what I'm doing. And so I watched a few YouTube videos just to kind of get a tutorial on, or see what other people are using with XPlane 10, using the cockpit to get a little bit more familiar with a few things. So I just logged on here for the first time ever. I don't know. I'm gonna do my best to make proper radio calls, and I'll see how it turns out. Hopefully, wish me best of luck. So, those who don't know what that is, IVAO is basically a network of people online that uses real radio calls for their flight simulator. So you actually fly online with people, and there's a tower that's actually controlling everything. So it's pretty exciting. So on what I have set up tonight is I want to show you my other screen here. Dun, dun, dun. So we'll go add. Add game capture, display capture, browse source, audio, scene, video capture. Window capture, we'll try that. Window capture 1. Window capture 1. Okay. Perfect. So this is what I want to show you guys. So basically what I have set up, I'm going to show you this, guys. So right here is the AVAO kind of tutorial on how to do your first flight with the radio calls. So I'm going through that one by one, and I just logged on for the first time. So I got that. So basically with this screen here, I'll show you what I got set up. To kind of stay organized when I fly, the first screen I have the Edmonton City Center airport diagram. So that's what I'm using to fly. And right now the plane is on taxiway Tierra. So it's right here. And so we have that already. I'm just double checking my frequencies, make sure I got the right. Yeah, it should be good. Okay, so I have that. The second page I have is the high level charts. So the IFR charts, we're going from Edmonton City Center I basically picked a 162 degree radio. I picked, see that number there? So that's the heading that I basically am using. The magnetic heading, I believe. And then there's a reporting point. So that just gives you the general direction of where to go for Calgary, CYYC. My alternate is, because you actually have to file a flight plan using the simulator, so it's very realistic. What did I use for my alternate? I believe I used Medicine Hat. So Medicine Hat is my alternate. Okay, so that's screen 1 I have, screen 2, screen 3 is, so here I have the diagram for Calgary. So when I land, it'll help if there is going to be an active tower and ground in Calgary on the system, on the IVAO. I'm gonna have this diagram to help taxi. I would like to have the actual like paper copies of all this stuff, but for now I don't. So I'm just doing my best. And then this I just have right now is the setup for the IVAO. So I'm just going through to this. I got logged on. Okay, so TeamSpeak 2, I have that on, and what I have to make a radio call, it's just the click of the mouse where the scroller is. That's basically my like clicking down on it. That's basically transmitting the radio call, and then letting go basically finishes the transmission. Okay, so now one thing I'm wondering. Weather stat, CYED. I want to make sure they have. Just one sec. I clicked on the wrong. Connect. Shoot. I want to make sure. I'm going to disconnect and connect. So disconnect and connect. Charlie Golf Mike Foxtrot Echo. So I'm using. Oh, Charlie Golf. That's an actual plane. I'm not going to use that one. Quebec Delta Echo. So Charlie Golf, Quebec Delta Echo. Charlie Golf, Quebec Delta Echo. So that's the 4-letter call sign for the plane. Charlie Golf, Quebec Delta Echo. So we're gonna go connect. Okay. So that's connected. Welcome to the IVAO Europe 6 network server. Please visit for further info. You are now online and connected to have fun. You are pilot rating FS1. So COM 1. So 121.9 should be the COM 1. So 121.9, and then I'll have tower 119.1 set up on the other frequency. So we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and I'll try to make my first radio call using the IVAO system. So we're gonna get rid of this for you guys. That's kind of boring. I will be using that as I fly. And they have TeamSpeak too. I gotta go and see what that says and make sure I'm on TeamSpeak properly as well. So let me just minimize this. There we go. So TeamSpeak 2. I think you have to connect with TeamSpeak 2. I'm just gonna check what it says on the website. It says if you have selected to use a voice for your communications, when inserting the appropriate frequency, you will also automatically join TeamSpeak channel of the controller. Before contacting the controller, you should retrieve his ATIS. Knowing the information of the controller's ATIS will help you communicate and flying in his airspace. To retrieve the ATIS, you can follow the steps below. So it says if there is no ATC on the system, you do your frequency calls on 122.8. Okay, so okay. ACARS, send flight plan. RQ ATIS. So it's the required ATIS, 121. 121.9. So required weather on departure, we'll call it required weather on arrival. Okay, so we got LOIH. So the winds are 000 knots, broken. Okay, I think that is the weather we need. And Required ADIS. What if I type in 122.8? Okay, so that's actually me talking on the frequency. All right, let's try to make a radio call. I don't know if there's anyone out here, so. Edmonton City Center ground, it's Charlie Golf, Quebec, Delta Echo. Edmonton City Center ground, it's Charlie Golf, Quebec, Delta Echo on Edmonton, or on taxiway Tierra, requesting IFR clearance and taxi to the active. I don't know if that's actually submitting. Because it didn't, nothing really came through on, so connect. Okay, I'm not sure if the TeamSpeak is working, but I think you can type in 120.
Error.
119.1. Okay, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm supposed to type. Let's try that. So, Edmonton City Center. Charlie Golf, Quebec, Delta Echo, Tierra. Maybe there's no active controllers on this. Local map. So, anyways, I'm not sure. We'll just get started because I want to start flying here. So we'll go and taxiway down here. That is Tierra, and then we're gonna hold short runway 1-2, and then we'll go and take off. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put the plane right here. Just getting started. Okay, so we're gonna do a flight to Calgary. We'll do flight level 190 on the 162-degree radial. We'll start with that. So we're going to be doing the Juliet 477. So we'll just review. So the Juliet 477 radial. So we don't have the NDB set up. We should probably do that. So the 162 NDB radial. Unless I do direct tooth, what kind of GPS does this have? Does it have any type of... Wait a minute. I think what I could do is maybe use the local map. I think you can use high en route. I think it gives you the NDB radials. Maybe we can just use this for flying instead of getting it set up. So there is Calgary. So high en route, low en route, sectional, texture. Texture's no good. Sectional, high route, en route, low en route, high speeds. So when you have high en route, you see the NDB. we'll just have to kind of, we'll go on this screen, maybe pause it and fly that way. We probably should have the proper radial set up, but 62-degree radial. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. GPS. Nav 1. Nav 2. Should put that, probably put that frequency in, the NDB, so we can do that. There we go. All right, I'm just gonna take off. Enough trying to plan stuff. I'll just do my best. Here we go. And we got airspeeds alive. We have full power. Temperature pressures look good. And we are rotating. Flaps are up. flaps up, gears are up. So we're gonna go to flight level 190 and we'll be heading on heading 162. I think what I'm going to do is disconnect. We're not going to use the IVAO because it seems like it's not really working. So let's pause this. Let's disconnect from this network. So we'll disconnect. So I don't know. We got to work on that. Because like the thing is, it's not, I don't know if I'm connected to TeamSpeak. It shows... Yeah, it says I'm disconnected on TeamSpeak too. So we'll just leave it for now. We'll get rid of this. So close. And I'm gonna do disconnect, connect, get rid of the screen. I'm gonna file a flight plan in the air using the using basically what so basically use the radio calls that it comes with, file a flight plan in the air. So we're departing, we don't have to put departure airport because we're already airborne. The arrival will be Calgary, so CYYC. And I'm going flight level 190. So 190. So at least we can actually do the radio calls with that. And we'll probably end up getting vectors with, not vectors, but proper headings and stuff with this simulator. So that will be good. So we'll unpause it. So we'll just maintain a heading of 175 for now. So let's have a look on that. Holy crap. It's quickly coming up to this airport. So that's what we're seeing in our screen. That came a lot closer than I thought. Okay, let's unpause it. Oh, what I need to do next is get the, if you are going to make control calls with the flight simulator, what you need to do is toggle nearby air traffic controller's window. Open that, and that way you have the frequencies to use. And if you click on it,
Error.
it will go to the recommended frequency.
Error.
So I'll pause. So like Edmonton Area Control Center. So we'll file a flight plan, CYYC, file. And then request clearance.
India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, cleared IFR to Charlie, Yankee, Yankee, Charlie, as filed. Maintain flight level 190, squawk 4700.
So we'll read back transmission.
Cleared IFR to Charlie, Yankee, Yankee, Charlie, as filed. Maintain flight level 190, squawk 4700, Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra.
190.
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, Charlie, Yankee, X-ray, Delta, altimeter 3003.
So we'll read back that.
Charlie, Yankee, X-ray, Delta, altimeter 3003, Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra.
.3003 on the altimeter. So if you want to change your altimeter setting, you can go ahead and do it. Do it right here. And we're going through some lightning, it appears. I've never seen this before. Holy crap. Okay. So let's just make a decision to fly through that.
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, fly heading 170.
Heading 170, Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra.
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, resume on navigation.
On navigation, Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra.
Oh, navigation. Why are they doing that? Flight level 170. Okay, so we're climbing flight level 190. We're doing our own navigation. So we should be following an NDB, ADF1. Keep the climb going. Whoa, what just happened? So what happened right there is I clicked. That's not good. What just happened? I basically clicked on.
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, fly heading 220.
So I'll read back from that.
Heading 220, Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra.
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, fly heading 170.
Heading 170, Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra.
So that wasn't good. Make sure whenever you are controlling the plane, if you want to do anything else, just be careful where you click your mouse, because if I click here, then the plane goes crazy like it just did. So that's not good. We won't do that again.
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, fly heading 170.
So I'll read back that. Fly heading 10.
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, resume on navigation.
On navigation, Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra.
We're coming up to our air altitude of flight level 190. And heading up 170. Just passed through there. So we do our cruise checklist if we had them right now. But we don't have a checklist, so maybe just do like a left to right check, gears up, flaps up. Check engine performance, cruise, engine power. Losing a little bit of altitude here.
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, climb and maintain flight level 190.
Up to flight level 190, Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra.
So 190. It's descending a little bit. Just make small corrections. And that's a nice night. Other than the thunderstorms we kind of went through. Pretty good. Oh, wow. Look at that. It's nice. So we've got here all the engine gauges, fuel information, flight controls. Oh, okay, this is good. So, but want to see just the VORs? You can do that, or the NDBs. Let's run its elevators. I should be kind of watching my...
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, descend and maintain flight level 190.
Yeah, reback transmission.
Down to flight level 190. Charlie, India, Romeo.
So if you're going to descend, you go
Sierra.
down to see Pat, so power, bring the power back. F1, attitude, trim. Get a little descent going. Because I basically started climbing and I don't have any type of autopilot on, so it's easy to lose your altitude unless it's trimmed out really well. So we'll go power, back to cruise attitude and trim. Stay. So as I'm flying, I'm just trying to get used to kind of weather. So you can have weather on the screen. Your NDBs are there. VORs. Waypoints. And it's got to stop climbing. So small adjustments here. Just pitch down a little bit. Stay. There we go. It's kind of... and air turbine on. So I didn't get the IVAO set up tonight, but at least I'm using the radio calls that that comes with the flight simulator, which is pretty good. Like I kind of like it, but I really want to get into real life radio calls. That will be kind of cool. So there's our local map. Airdrie, so that's Calgary. CYYC. So there's Airdrie. So we could probably put this NDB on 254 NDB while we're heading out here. So the 254 NDB. Uh, 254. Airdrie's pretty nice. My brother used to live up there. One, 2, 5, 4. So have that as the active on the ADF. So it's gonna get a little bit busier when we get closer to the airport. And also, so we'd have cruise checks, we'd have like descent checklist ready. The frequencies are coming up here, so that's helping us. This is a really good aid. You definitely are gonna need this if you wanna make radio calls on the simulator. Nearby air traffic controllers, you're definitely gonna want that on as an aid to start off, because it can tell, you'll have your frequencies ready and there's gonna be an asterisk on which one to switch over. It's just gonna be a lot quicker. So it's definitely gonna be a good help. And so I punched in
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, fly heading 180.
so fly heading
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, resume on navigation.
On navigation. Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra.
We'll start going to 180. So if we had the NDB set up, active is 254. $270 knots.
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, climb and maintain flight level 190.
Lost my heading there.
Up to flight level 190. Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra.
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, descend and maintain 15,000. Charlie, Yankee, Quebec, Foxtrot, altimeter 3003.
So descend and maintain
Charlie,
15,000.
India, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, descend and maintain.
So bring back the power.
Charlie, Yankee, Quebec, Foxtrot, altimeter 3003.
Just pitch the nose down a bit, trim that, and we'll read back that last
Down
transmission.
to 15,000. Charlie, Yankee, Quebec, Foxtrot, altimeter 3003. Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra.
So we're probably going to be getting vectors for, so I'm just, while we're descending here, I'm getting out my high level charts, but I'm also kind of looking at the airport here in Calgary, getting kind of set up. So we got 2528, 10, and 07. And high level charts, just going to look at this here for a quick sec. Still got a little ways to go. Calgary VOR and DME is 116.7, so let's try to get that set up. 116.7. Just the practice VOR navigation. 116.7. Hey, we see something here. This is good. So, what do we got here? So we're on the, looks like the one, is it the radio? Oh, no, it's the heading. This is pointing directly to the VOR. Now, how do you, I'm wondering now is how do you check the, so it's nav one, nav two. Oh, it switches over. Okay.
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, descend and maintain 1,000.
I'll reback that, so you press enter.
Down to 1,000. Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra.
So we got this needle pointed directly at the VOR. It seems to be picking up. I'm trying to figure out. There's an identifier to make sure to see that your VOR is serviceable, and I don't know how to check that on the simulator or on this in the plane. I think we're supposed to go to 15 or 1,000, I think. Request altimeter.
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, Echo, Alpha, 3, altimeter 3003.
So we're going to descend to 1,100. If you do need the altimeter, change the altimeter setting, you just do it right here. Turn the taxi light off. Okay, 110, we're coming up. So we're going down the CPAT. So whenever you're descending, it's always power attitude trim. So we're gonna, oh, don't do what I just did. Whoops. Okay, stop doing that, Chris. Power. And then we'll do a cruise attitude. The way I know I'm doing a cruise attitude is I'm just looking, I should be descending a little bit more. We still have 700 feet to go. But what I'm doing I'm looking at here to fly cruise altitude. So if you're flying IFR, you want to be looking at your instruments first, and then you can.
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, descend and maintain 7,000.
7,000. So I'm gonna read back the transmission.
Down to 7,000. Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra.
Going down to CPAT, power attitude trim. Down to 7,000. 7,000. 7,000. We're getting closer. So there's the VOR we connected to. I should probably go and fly the plane. So as we get closer to the airport, we'll be getting most likely vectors for a straight approach. Once the runway's in sight, we're good. Pretty sure that's what the simulator will do. If you ever forget what the last radio call was, you can always go request altimeter and cheat it. So 7,000.
Sierra, Echo, Alpha 3, altimeter 3003.
I'm just gonna pause the simulator and turn the lights off in my house so I can. This might help me focus a bit on. Okay.
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, climb and maintain 9,000.
Up to 9,000. Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra.
So we're gonna climb back to 9,000. Full power. Get the cruise.
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, climb and maintain 9,000.
Up to 9,000. Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra.
And we're back in the weather here. He put us right into the thunderstorm. What is he thinking? Okay, I want to request a lower altitude. I don't want to stay in this. simulator. I want to check. If I go direct to the VUR, we'll probably, before that, we'll probably end up getting vectors. So we're getting pretty close to the airport. Yeah, we're most likely gonna get vectored in. So the, okay, on pause. All right, showtime. It's gonna get busy.
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, fly heading 080. Vectors for the visual, runway 35, right. Climb and maintain 9,000. Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, fly heading 080. Vectors for the visual, runway 35, right. Descend and maintain 5,000.
Heading 080. Vectors for the visual. Runway 35. Right. Down to 5,000. Charlie. India. Romeo. Romeo. Uniform. Sierra.
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, fly heading 170.
Heading 170. Charlie. India. Romeo. Romeo. Uniform. Sierra.
So 5,000 feet, 170. So I'm aviating first, flying the plane first, navigating second, and then redoing my readbacks third.
India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, fly heading 260. Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, fly heading 260. Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, fly heading 260.
Heading 260. Charlie. India. Romeo. Romeo. Uniform. Sierra.
So aviate first, navigate second, communicate third. Aviate, navigate, communicate. So fly the plane first, do your navigation second, and then talk to the communicate to the air traffic control third. So that's like your priority. You don't want to focus on the radio call or focus on navigating and not fly the plane, right? You always want to have that as your priority. So we'll keep descending. Heading 260, we're going to be descending to 5,000 feet. So I'm right clicking on the mouse to look around if you need any visual help, and then letting go. We're climbing, so that's not good. I got distracted.
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, descend and maintain 5,000.
Down to 5,000. Charlie. India. Romeo. Romeo. Uniform. Sierra.
260 and descending to 5,000. So power, attitude, trim. We're gonna
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra. Fly heading 320.
20. Whoa.
Heading 320. Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra.
All right, heading 320, 5,000 feet.
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra. Fly heading 350. Report the field in sight.
Heading 350. We'll call the field. Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra.
And field is in sight. I'll make the call back.
Center, Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra.
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra. Contact tower on 118.4.
Here we go. Let's go time.
Contact tower on 118.4. Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra.
Flaps down, gears down, G for gears, flaps. We're gonna contact tower.
Tower, Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra.
Bring the power back. We got 3 in the green, so we're good for gears are down. Bring the power way back. And we're waiting. Oh shoot. It's not good. Time for a joystick. That's my excuse when that happens. Oh, I'm using a mouse. So I don't think they actually clear you to land in the simulator. Request altimeter.
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra. Charlie, Yankee, Yankee, Charlie. Altimeter 3003.
So the simulator.
Charlie, India, Romeo.
Oh, there we go.
Uniform, Sierra. Runway 35 right. Clear to land.
We're clear to land.
Runway 35 right. Cleared to land. Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra.
Well, it looks pretty good in Calgary. So basically I'm pitching up and down to control the airspeed, and then power controls your rate of climb and rate of descent. So because we're high, I'm bringing the power all the way. Power is pretty much all the way back now. So we're gonna be descending pretty quickly. I'll add a little bit more power because it's gonna sink pretty quickly. Here. Small changes in the controls. This looks pretty good. So we'll flare, go to a cruise, attitude nice and easy. Bring the power back. Yeah, And we'll slowly bring it, pitch up a little bit more. Keep about this attitude. And there we go. Power's idle, parking brake is back, and there we go.
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, Gate, taxi via 3-5, right, Delta, 4, Delta, Echo, India.
So read back that.
Gate, taxi via 3-5, right, Delta, 4, Delta, Echo, India, Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra.
So it's kind of nice that we have the lines to guide us for taxiing. That makes it a lot easier. So we would do a checklist here where we would do our after landing checks. I would like to fly a plane that has an actual checklist that you can use. So unfortunately, this plane doesn't have one yet. So I don't have an actual checklist, but we'll have to maybe get a plane where there is one just to make it a little bit more realistic. But I'll just keep adding. I think the key is, like, you go on YouTube and you see some of these like experts doing flight simulator, but if you're starting off, you can't really do everything all at once. It's a little challenging, right? And it can get you discouraged. So you just want to do what you can and just keep improving on it. That's all I recommend. Is like, I did my first couple flights without doing the radio calls, and then I added the radio calls, and it's just something. So I'm gonna pause this and actually pull out the let's pause it here. I'm gonna pull out the charts for I was gonna show you guys the charts in Calgary, but I can't seem to get my OBS to. But basically, what I'm looking at now is just the aerodrome charts for the CAP, Canada Air Pilots. If you go to IVAO.ca, you can get the charts for the simulator, and you can pick, because taxiing can be a little bit challenging, and especially if I am going to be using IVAO, I'm not going to have access to those straight lines that you see. Like, we're not going to have these straight lines available when I'm actually in the simulator. So taxiing is something I'm going to have to get better at. So it's something, it can be a little bit challenging if you're not familiar, especially with big airports. So Delta 4, so right.
Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra. Contact ground on 121.9er.
Contact ground on 121.9er. Charlie, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra. Error. Ground, Charlie, India, India, Romeo, Romeo, Uniform, Sierra.
Going a little, starting to speed up here, so I'm going to put the parking brake on and release the brake. There we go. I think this is it. There we go. Let's put the parking brake on. So we'll shut everything off and get the hell out of the plane. And there you have it. Ideally, you're going to want a checklist, like a proper shutdown checklist. How do I turn the navigation screen off? Off. Or maybe that's just the way. Okay, let's get to the plane. Boom, I'm out of here. Welcome to Calgary. All right, thanks for watching the, this was the flight from Edmonton City Center to Calgary, and I'll see you on the next video. I'll keep trying to get a little bit better every flight on everything, making it as realistic as can while having fun. I think that's the balance, right? Because if you are new to flight simulator, and I don't know, not everyone has the same flying experience, but if you are not a pilot, you want to have it realistic, but don't get overly discouraged, because you actually want to go and have fun with the simulator too, right? And that's where you'll do a lot of learning. You'll learn a lot about flying in the simulator, I believe, by going out and actually flying it. So if you get too technical, then you don't actually, get to learn in the air. So yeah, just always making small adjustments to your heading, looking here, flying the plane first, navigating second, and communicating third. And always, if you just have a mouse, it's kind of a pain in the butt, because if you have this screen on and you go down, if you move your mouse by accident, you're basically telling the plane to go on a sharp descent, right? So it's a little bit challenging for that. So all right, so that's a wrap. That was lots of fun. So tonight I kind of got out the charts that I showed you at the beginning. I had the Edmonton City Center ground charts, the high level charts, and the charts for Calgary. So it's good to kind of get familiar with that. Luckily with the simulator, if you are flying with the radio calls that they give you, you will get the nice lines on the taxiways, which makes it a lot easier. But if you don't have those lines taxiing, it's good to study the airport you're landing at and just get familiar with it. So all right, that's it for my my video. Bye for now.